Welcome to Katie Calls BS, the podcast where we cut through the noise in course creation, digital products, and business strategy. I'm Katie Miller, bringing you blunt advice, real action steps, and the occasional F-bomb because building a business is hard and the BS isn't helping. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Katie Calls BS. Every business owner I have talked to about passive income, or really automatic income because it's not passive, says it is something they want to add to their business one day, but almost none of them are building towards it. Why? Because what they really want isn't passive. It's automatic. We're not talking about passive income. We're talking about automatic income. You say you want automatic income, but your calendar says you want control, familiarity, and quick cash. If automatic income was the priority, your week would look different. Your calendar and your priorities would reflect this goal. I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to go deep into the difference between passive income and automatic income, but a quick overview. Passive income is classified by the IRS, and it's really for rental properties, things that you set up at the beginning and you don't touch. You don't have to do anything. It's that upfront work, then it's that real set it and forget it. In our businesses, service-based businesses, it doesn't work like that. In passive income, there's lower active delivery. It's built on systems, but it still requires some maintenance, very little. But automatic income, sales happen without you doing any live work. Delivery doesn't really require your time, so anything that you're giving to people doesn't require your time. And revenue isn't tied to your availability. You don't have to be there to make money. It is money while you sleep, I guess, but it does require maintenance. Most people say passive, but what they mean is, I want income that doesn't require me to show up all the time, and I kind of want to make money in my sleep. That would be nice. I want an extra stream of income. That's not just my one-on-one work. Isn't that what we all want? That only happens when you start building learning and assets that can teach and guide and support without you, which, guess what? All requires work and maintenance. It's not just going to be a set it and forget it, especially if you want it to be good. When I hear you say, I need or want passive income, I need or want another way to bring in revenue in my business, I hear you need a business model that doesn't depend entirely on you showing up live all the time. Automatic isn't something you just add one day. It's something that you have to plan and design for. You say you want it, but do you? Because wanting automatic income means you kind of have to build before you're ready. It means working on assets that don't pay immediately. It means simplifying how you're working with clients. It means replacing yourself in small ways. Most business owners don't actually prioritize that. You're not blocking time to build anything, creating structured learning assets, and you keep adding services and clients probably because that feels comfortable. Automatic income comes from documented processes, structured teaching, repeatable frameworks, defined product roles. It's not from wishing for it one day. There won't be a perfect time in business to start this. Here are a few guesses for why you haven't done it yet. Immediate revenue feels safer. Client work pays now. Digital assets pay later. Your brain defaults to now. So you go for the more services, the more calls, more custom work, because that feels productive. It keeps you busy. It avoids risk. Being needed feels really good. Let's be honest. There's ego in being required. When clients need you, it validates the work that you're doing. Automatic income reduces your visibility in client work, and that can feel like you aren't relevant to your own work anymore, which is a little threatening. We don't like that. You think that automatic income has to be this big thing. We go straight to a massive course, a huge funnel, an entire product suite, months and months of recording, complicated tech stacks. It doesn't have to be this big thing. That's the best part about it. I see so many people delay because they think it's immediately going to be this huge arm of their business that they have to build up, just like when they started their businesses. And it feels way too much to take on, so overwhelming. But automatic income rarely starts big. It starts with one structured asset, one defined role, one replacement of something that you're repeating over and over in your business. Small assets compound. You're waiting to build your entire empire when we have to lay the first brick. We default to the easier stuff. It is so much easier to take on another client, to spend time tweaking our website, or post on Instagram, or rebrand, or plan another launch. Launch something that we've done before. We stick to what we know because that feels active and familiar and urgent. We can do that because we've done it a million times. But building infrastructure feels quiet and a little scary. It's a little bit deeper work. Also scary. It's invisible. Nobody sees the behind the scenes stuff. We don't get that instant feedback like we would from an Instagram post or from a launch or from tweaking our website and sharing that or taking on a client who's going to pay us immediately. So we avoid it. Not because we can't do it, but because it's a little bit more of an unknown thing. It's harder in the short term, and we shy away from that. When I talk about building the learning side of your business or taking on digital products, people assume so often that I mean 5 offers, we're going to add 3 tiers, and we're going to have upsells and downsells, and we need to build out these huge full funnels. No, we're not doing that. A digital product suite is structured. It's structured progression. It means that the offers have roles. Everything has a job. It doesn't make sense if it doesn't have a job. Your expertise and your knowledge goes so deep because you've been doing this for so long. We have to go at it with an organized approach. We have to make sure that your delivery, everything that you're giving to your clients isn't chaotic, that your revenue isn't dependent on you showing up every single day, you doing one-on-ones every single day. That can start with one product, but it has to be intentional. Random courses and random freebies and a digital product that you created one day to test it out doesn't create automatic income. A structured ecosystem does. This looks different for every business, though. And I cannot stress that enough. Every business has a different goal. I cannot recommend that every business create the exact same learning ecosystem or the exact same learning tools. It doesn't make sense for the business or you as the business owner. We don't want the same things from our businesses. Here's the thing. If you've said for years, I need passive income, I want to create passive income, I know I should create passive income or automatic income, but you haven't, and you haven't built block time, or documented any processes, or simplified your offers, or built one clean product, then it's not your priority. It's like a fantasy version of something you're going to do one day, or like someone told you it was a good idea, and maybe, I don't know, it's a one-day thing. Then it's not a priority. It's a fantasy version of relief or a fantasy version of a goal. It requires design and intention and desire. It takes time and effort. It does need to be a priority, and you do need to be somewhat established as a brand and a business. The order that you do it in matters. You can't just decide randomly one day that today's the day. You have to stabilize your core service. Whatever your signature offer, your core service is, has to be clear. Because if that's messy, your digital products are going to be really messy and chaotic. We can't have that if you want them to be successful. You have to extract and document your repeatable process. You already repeat yourself in your business. Document that, structure it, turn it into teachable components. Everything that you do can be broken down. That's the learning side of your business. Turn that repetition into structured learning. We talk about this every week. I feel like I've mentioned this in the last 5 episodes. Ask yourself or notice where you're repeating explanations. Where are you manually onboarding people? Where are you answering the same questions? Replace that repetition with assets. It doesn't remove any value from your business. It removes the redundancy in your business. Assign roles to each product. Each product should have a job within your business. Attract, prepare, support, replace certain delivery, or extend the results. Random products don't create automatic income. It needs to be structured. It needs to be part of the whole ecosystem of your business. Let assets replace small pieces of you over time. We're not trying to replace you completely. That's not the goal, unless it is, because some people want to get away from one-on-ones completely. They want to get away from client work completely. Some people just want to replace a little bit of it. It depends what your goals are. You don't wake up with automatic income magically rolling in, pinging your phone. Automatic income does not come from just throwing up a random course one day or recording random trainings and calling it a day. You can't just add an offer and expect things to magically happen. You have to diagnose the problem first. You have to diagnose what's happening within your business. We have to design it intentionally. So many people miss this step. They create a product based on what they think the need is. They build before they diagnose anything, and they create before they evaluate anything. And when you do an audit, which is why I start with an audit, it forces you to ask where you're repeating yourself, what questions show up every week, what part of your delivery drains you, because you may not have actually thought about that. You just do it because you're so used to doing it. What part of your business can be turned into learning? And what should I get rid of? You may have meant to get rid of it, but it's just still there because you're just used to it. Without that step, you end up building the wrong things, or you end up doing the things that are expected of you, not what you should be doing. Or we build too much, or we build something that doesn't take away any of your workload. We don't want to add to our workload. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to look at where automatic income is already hiding in your business, which is exactly what an audit does. Most people just don't see where automatic income is already hiding because it's there. You've already done all the work. So if you actually want this to work, you have to decide the revenue target tied to non-live income, to non-one-on-one income. Audit how much you're repeating yourself within your business. Build one structured asset that replaces something you're doing. Replaces it, not creating something new. Try it out, launch it, put it out there. We're not talking live launches like 6-week live launch. We're not going to do those. Launch it before it feels perfect. Refine it based on the feedback, not your feelings and your vibes, but feedback. Automatic income compounds, but only after the asset exists. Automatic income isn't built by wanting it one day. If you truly want it, it's time to do something about it. Block the time, build the asset, simplify your business a little. Start small, because what are we doing? You've talked about it for long enough. Or you can admit you prefer the control and immediacy of one-on-one work. Both are totally valid, but stop saying you need passive income if you're not willing to design your business for it. If that's the goal, if passive income or active income is the goal, act like it. If it's not, own that too. Remember, it can look a million different ways, which is the beauty of creating digital products and learning suites. It is not going to look the same for everybody. And you already have everything you need sitting inside your business right now. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. If this episode hit home, your next step isn't to build anything. It's to audit what you already have. I offer a paid infrastructure audit where I review your current offers, delivery load, and where your business is relying too heavily on you. You'll get a clear decision doc and a Loom walkthrough outlining what actually makes sense next. The link is in the show notes.